Well, clearly, Chancellor Scholz has missed his rendezvous with history. And what you're seeing is not just Eastern Europe versus Germany, but what you saw in Ramstein is very significant commitments from countries from Northern Europe, including the UK, but also Nordic countries. I mean, take Denmark. They are basically committed all their Caesar artillery systems to Ukraine, and they will have none for Denmark itself. So I think you see in Ramstein a very significant upping of the commitments from across the board, with sadly a key exception, which is Germany, which is sitting on a strategic decision which could really change the course of the war and actually shorten the war.
Well, couldn't this indecision change the course of the war too?
Exactly. What Chancellor Scholz is doing is the opposite to what he wishes, which is obviously a close resolution to the war. Because what's going to happen, like some of the previous commentators said, Ukraine is not going to give up one way or another. But obviously, we can make Ukraine's success shorter and better by providing the right gear. And Chancellor Scholz, I think he's making a fundamental mistake by looking at the German public opinion, which basically is split down the middle. And this is the moment of leadership. This is the moment where you have to convince the skeptics that this is what Germany has to do for Europe and for history.
But given the outraged reaction from Poland we've been hearing tonight, but from other parts of the EU, no doubt, might Germany yet change its mind, and fairly rapidly?
We hope so. And I think what you have seen before Ramstein, since I would say a month, is a unique, very vocal diplomacy from not just Eastern Europe, but also from the UK, from France, trying to circle around Germany and force Scholz into making a decision for providing main battle tanks to Ukraine. So I think that pressure is going to stay. The question, and this is what President Zelensky said yesterday, every day that Mr. Scholz is deferring, every day Ukraine is losing soldiers.
But what's so special about the Leopard 2 tanks? You were talking about other countries having contributed fairly extensively. Isn't that enough, potentially?
Well, I think it's two things. First is the quantity. You have in thousands Leopard tanks across Europe, not just Germany, but you have something like close to a dozen other European NATO countries who have Leopard tanks and were willing to lend them, to give them to the Ukrainians in some sort of coalition. But to do so, you need to have, obviously, Berlin allowing the export of those systems to Ukraine. That's one thing. Second, Leopard Tank 2 is generally considered as one of the best, if not the best, and most versatile main battle tank to do the job in Ukraine. Whilst, for example, the US tanks, whilst the Abrams tanks was very good, have, for example, in terms of sustaining and logistic, more requirements than the Leopard tanks. So the Leopard tanks are actually more fit for the kind of battle that the Ukrainians will have to wage if they are to actually take back their territory.